Long story short, they came in, had us escorted off the property, was going to take over the business. In 3 days, we had the ability to go back in. We borrowed a bunch of money from Charity's dad to pay a lawyer, go in and basically force them out of the business, turn it into a simple loan. But they did basically try to steal my company and turn it into a Mopar restoration shop.
Dave Kindig became a household name through his incredible skills in car restoration and detailed custom work at Kindig-It Design. Over the years, he has captivated car enthusiasts with his distinct approach to building cars. And fans have eagerly followed his journey as his success continued to grow. But after his rise to stardom, things took an unexpected turn. From lawsuits to the cancellation of his show, Dave's journey took a nosedive. Join us as we uncover what really happened to Dave Kindig. The door panel design changed Kindig-It. We just boarded it and started shaping it out, and both Justin and I at the same time were like, yeah, that's the ticket. Yep. No, it is. When you stand outside of the car and you look in, the interior stands out. So, Justin did a one-piece leather headliner in there, which was kind of a challenge for him cause that roll cage is pushed up so high into those corners that it made it a little difficult for him. While many TV personalities often find themselves in the spotlight for controversies, Dave Kindig prefers to keep a low profile. He stays focused on his business. So, it was quite surprising when he became embroiled in a lawsuit some couple of years ago. The backstory is that over 30 chiropractors and wellness professionals from across the United States hired Dave's company to restore and customize a 1974 Dodge Charger. Both parties met and settled for $670,000 for the project. It is also important to note that over the course of the project, the chiropractors had already paid over $230,000 in deposits and initial build costs, expecting a high-quality restoration. However, as time passed, they grew increasingly frustrated, claiming that little to no progress had been made. By the time they filed the lawsuit, the plaintiffs reported that all they had received from Kindig-It was the shell of the car and no work on the drivetrain, interior, or functional components. Despite repeated requests for updates on the car status, their inquiries were met with evasive answers or no response at all. The client's frustrations reached a breaking point in 2022, leading them to file a lawsuit against Kindig Design for fraud and breach of contract. The lawsuit accused Kindig Design of accepting payments without completing the promised work, with plaintiffs alleging they had been misled about the timeline and progress. In response, Kindig-It Design defended itself by citing the widespread delays caused by the 2019 pandemic and shipping issues. The company also pointed to its reputation and prior successful projects as evidence that the delays were unintentional. Like most legal disputes, the case followed a detailed timeline. It began in 2019 when Kindig-It accepted the commission for the restoration of the 1974 Dodge Charger. In early 2020, the chiropractors paid the deposit to kickstart the project. However, by 2021, when the restoration was still far from completed, they began to express their dissatisfaction. By mid-2021, the chiropractors felt they had no other option but to pursue legal action. Prior to this, the chiropractors had initially attempted to resolve the matter privately through alternative dispute resolution. Mediation sessions were held with the hope of settling the dispute without going to court. However, these sessions failed due to a lack of offers of a refund and differing expectations. The plaintiffs accused Kindig-It of ignoring their requests and continuing to take payments while not delivering on their commitments. During the court proceedings, the chiropractors' legal team provided evidence, including photographs and invoices, showing that no major work had been done since the car had been torn apart. They claimed that the limited progress made on the car after the initial tear-on was a clear sign of the company's failure to fulfill the contract. This led to the accusation that Kindig-It had been misleading and negligent, intentionally stalling the project. In the face of these allegations, Kindig-It Design responded by claiming that despite the delays, the work was not abandoned and that external challenges had been the primary reason for the slow progress. Despite these arguments, the legal battle continued and the chiropractors were determined to seek justice for what they saw as an unjust and incomplete project. As the case gained more attention, it led to other former clients of Kindig-It Design coming forward with their own complaints. Some former clients alleged that they had experienced similar issues, including slow progress, poor communication, incomplete restorations, and difficulty in getting refunds. One notable complaint came from a customer who waited more than 3 years for a Camaro restoration. But the project stalled and never advanced beyond the bodywork stage. These complaints raised concerns about whether Kindig-It Design was taking in more projects than it could handle, especially during the peak of its television fame. Fans speculated that the company's rapid growth might have outpaced its ability to maintain quality and manage its operations efficiently. Although no new lawsuits were filed at the time, these additional complaints cast doubt on the company's internal processes. As of 2025, the legal case remains ongoing. Both parties are in the discovery phase, exchanging documents and taking depositions. The case is expected to go to trial in early 2026 unless a settlement is reached beforehand. Fans and clients are closely following the case, eager to see the outcome and how it could affect Kindig's future in the automotive restoration business. However, that wasn't the first time Dave found himself involved in a lawsuit. In 2014, he was in court again, but this time as the one taking legal action. The case filed in the District Court of Utah allegedly accused Creative Controls Inc., a Michigan-based company, of violating Kindig Design's copyrights and patents. Basically, Kindig-It Design claimed that the defendant had unlawfully reproduced and used their copyrighted works and patented inventions without permission. You see, in custom car design, originality is everything. Builders spend years creating new systems or perfecting their own unique style. To protect these innovations, each country offers patents for inventions like hydraulic lifts or custom suspension setups and copyrights for creative expressions such as logos, body shapes, and paint designs. These laws ensure that builders get the credit and payment they deserve for their work. Without them, competitors could easily steal and profit from someone else's ideas. So, the case was a crucial one for Kindig as the lawsuit was intended to protect its intellectual property and seek damages for the alleged infringement. However, Creative Controls did not take the claims lightly. The company moved to dismiss the case, citing several key legal arguments. Among these, they claimed that there was no personal jurisdiction over them in Utah, arguing that they did not have a substantial presence in the state. Additionally, they argued that Kindig's legal claims lack sufficient grounds, and according to one of the rules in civil procedure, a case can be dismissed if the claims don't present enough factual evidence to proceed. As the case unfolded, both parties presented their arguments. Creative Controls argued that they had no direct business dealings with Utah and they had not conducted any regular business, nor did they have employees in the state. They also argued that the court lacked jurisdiction and requested that the case be transferred to Michigan. Kindig-It, however, was determined to keep the case in Utah. They pointed out several reasons why the court should have jurisdiction over Creative Controls. First, they claimed that while this was going on, a new development emerged in the case. According to the case file, Creative Controls had allegedly used photographs from Kindig's Utah-based website, which strengthened the argument for establishing jurisdiction. Fast forward to January 2016, the Utah District Court delivered its ruling on the matter. The court acknowledged that while there was sufficient evidence to assert jurisdiction over Creative Controls for certain non-patent-related claims, there was not enough for the patent claims. The court ruled that while Creative Controls' website did facilitate orders, there was no conclusive evidence showing that the site had targeted Utah customers. The donation of the custom parking brake, which took place years before, was deemed to be too distant to form a solid basis for jurisdiction. Similarly, the one-off sale to a Utah customer was determined not to be sufficient for proving the court's authority over the case. However, this ruling didn't settle the lawsuit. Both sides continued to fight over legal technicalities, including a motion from Kindig to compel further discovery, which was ultimately denied by the court in April 2017. The court determined that the motion was filed too late, a month after the discovery period had closed. Even if the motion had been timely, the judge ruled that the information Kind sought was not proportional to the needs of the case. In June 2017, the case was referred to a magistrate judge to facilitate settlement discussions. After some time, both parties engaged in a settlement conference, but unfortunately, they could not come to an agreement. However, in July 2017, the case was officially closed when both sides filed a stipulation of dismissal with prejudice. What this means is that both parties had agreed to dismiss their claims and counterclaims and had waived their right to pursue any further legal action on the same grounds in the future. While the specifics of the settlement were not disclosed to the public, it was clear that both parties had reached a resolution and put the legal battle behind them. Away from Dave's lawsuits, the world has been captivated by the transformation of classic cars brought to life by his shop and TV show. The show, which premiered in 2014, featured the craftsmanship and creative processes behind the customizations of vehicles, making it a hit with automotive enthusiasts and casual viewers alike. On the show, Dave quickly became known for his innovative ideas and passion for everything automotive. The show offered more than just a look at the process of building custom cars. It gave viewers a glimpse into the operations of one of the most successful custom shops in the world. The vehicles worked on were often vintage models from 1950s Chevrolet's tow high-performance muscle cars. What stood out, however, was the dedication and attention to detail that Dave and his team put into every project. While the show's success continued to grow, behind the scenes, Dave's life was evolving as well. The challenges of running a top-tier custom shop were significant. Dave and his team faced not only the pressure of maintaining the shop's high standards, but also the realities of working in a competitive industry. But despite these challenges, Kindig-It Design continued to be a leader in the custom car industry. Their work wasn't only about creating beautiful cars. It was about preserving the legacy of the vehicles they restored, ensuring that each car they touched continued to live on for future generations. In addition to being the owner of Kindig-It, Dave's work has been featured in some of the most prestigious events in the automotive world. He and his team have received numerous accolades, including winning the Riddler Award, one of the most coveted prizes in the custom car industry. Despite the team's many accomplishments, the series was unexpectedly cancelled in early 2025, leaving fans shocked and disappointed. Dave Kindig later confirmed the news in a heartfelt Instagram post, thanking supporters for their loyalty and assuring them that his passion for custom builds and innovation at Kindig-It Design remains unwavering. For a show that resonated with millions worldwide, the decision to end it certainly raised many questions. According to various sources, multiple factors led to the cancellation of the show. One of the key reasons cited was the increasing competition from other automotive television programs. With more car restoration shows hitting the airwaves, the market became saturated, making it harder for a single show to stand out. Another major factor was the rising production costs. Producing a high-quality show with intricate car builds and behind-the-scenes work came with a hefty price tag. As the show's budget continued to grow, it became a difficult decision for the network to justify continuing the series. Although fans were saddened by the show's cancellation, many are excited about what the future holds for Dave Kindig and his team. With new projects on the horizon and a steady stream of automotive masterpieces coming from his shop, it's clear that Dave's legacy in the world of custom car design is far from over. Even after the heartbreaking news, Dave's influence in the automotive world remains strong. He continues to push the boundaries of design and innovation, creating unique vehicles that turn heads wherever they go. His commitment to quality and attention to detail has never wavered, and it's clear that his passion for the craft will continue to fuel his success. Speaking of success, Dave Kindig's journey to stardom is nothing short of remarkable. As a child, he was always interested in design, spending hours drawing and sketching various subjects. Early on, he found pleasure in creating detailed drawings, including bugs and insects. However, it wasn't long before Dave realized that his true passion was custom car design. He soon shifted his focus to drawing cars as he realized he could express his creativity better through automotive design. His childhood interest in design ultimately laid the foundation for his future in the automotive world. Dave attributes his childhood curiosity to his lifelong love of automobiles. But while his love for cars is crucial, making a career out of it requires much more. It requires training and hands-on experience. To gain the necessary knowledge, Dave took his first job at High Performance Coating. There he learned the ropes of the restoration business. This job laid the foundation for his future success. Dave's drive to innovate was always apparent, and it pushed him to do what many thought was impossible. After some years of learning, he decided to leave high-performance coding and start his own business. In 19